When you see the name Low Gang, you slowly come to crack.
So introducing our boy, Clinton Gerard Williams. I'm gonna go ahead and just say it because that's my boy. I grew up with him. You know what I mean? He is the man. He is an elite trash talker. He's the only Gator fan that I know. Gets on my nerves since I was a kid. But here he is, the man in the flesh, born and raised. Here we go. Welcome to the Speakeasy, my homie.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, fellas. Thank you for having me on. It's definitely an honor. I've seen a couple episodes that you all were doing before, and I love what you all are doing. I'm just honored to be, able to be a part of it. So thank you both for having me on. Yes, that's right, Ernest, man. We've been knowing each other forever, bro. You like a brother to me, man. And yes, I'm an elite trash talker. I have to be. I have a wife and 4 kids. So, I got to make sure that I'm the man in here. So I'm used to running my mouth and getting my way. So I think that this is going to be a perfect arrangement for us.
All right, well, let's jump right into it. On this episode of the Speakeasy, we're going to be bringing in the holidays. We have a special holiday edition of Snow That Fact. We're going to be doing NFL Week 16 breakdown and all the playoff implications. And then we got a real good segment of the Culture Corner. We're going to express some. But let's just jump right into it. Some of you may know Stevie Wonder, the blind, piano-playing, keyboard-stretching, vocal blessing phenomenon. Tell the people about Stevie Wonder, man.
Man, look, this is my boy. You know what I mean? The blind man himself. You know what I'm saying? He was raised in Michigan, Saginaw. If you don't know where that is, look it up. It's in Michigan. He's the man. His music transformed through the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Even right now, everybody listens to Stevie Wonder because he is the Christmas classic genius. Everybody wants to be like him. Everybody wants to see like him, even though he's blind. Everybody wants to do music like him. It's all about Stevie. And I don't want his hairline, but I want his dread.
You're probably wondering why are we talking about Stevie Wonder on a sports show? But I'll just let you know. It's because it's the holidays. And I'm on record to put it right now. Stevie Wonder has the all-time greatest Christmas album ever. Listen, loyals. Go listen to it. You
That's
cool with Stevie Wonder, man?
I do. Stevie's that guy, man. He definitely set the precedent for the music we listen to today. So even if you listen to a lot of music, man, most of the stuff that we hear is sampled from his music anyway. So I didn't know a lot about that until I really started listening. So I'm like, man, even the culture now, we still pulling from what Stevie Wonder did.
Someday at Christmas is the name of the album. Go listen to it. Pour your cup of eggnog, whatever you sipping during the holidays.
Whoa, Ron, you about to sing, bro? You about to sing? You about to sing the song?
No. I'm going to move on to our athlete tribute of the episode, and we're going to go to the Denver Nuggets, David Thompson. And listen, let me tell y'all, if you want to know about the person that Michael Jordan, the GOAT, grew up idolizing, that people like Luke Walton will tell you is one of the best players that transitionalized basketball, the original Skywalker, David Thompson. Y'all need to understand his NBA history, y'all. Tell them about it.
Man, look, this guy, I wasn't even born yet, but I've seen the highlights. NC State, national championship. This man lit it up in college. This man lit it up in his career, even in the NBA. This man went to the All-Star game. This man was a genius, but one thing he was nasty for is his dunks. This man could soar over anybody. This man could block any shot you can think of before and during the time of Dr. J. It was all about Skywalker. It ain't about Luke, but Star Wars is premiering. It premiered yesterday, but the original Skywalker is David Thompson.
Absolutely. And CJ, we just gonna move right into our first segment. Know that fact. Listen, we just
know that
fact. Right to the point. We got a baby in the background. What's going on? Know that fact. Right straight to the point. It's all good. This is a family show. It's the holidays. We all about it. And our first know that fact is that the NBA season starts on Christmas. It's called Chris Basketball. And listen, CJ, you a basketball head or what?
Yo, I love ball, man. Bro, let me tell you. So NFL and college football is my heart, but I absolutely love the NBA. I love college ball too, more towards tourney time. But man, the NBA, that's right up my alley, man. Right up my alley.
That's who his team is.
Well, we don't want to get into that because then we'll be talking all night. I got a few teams, so
That's what I was saying to Ush myself, because she was like, "Why ain't I wearing my Lakers gear today?" After the beat down yesterday.
Yeah, hey.
I'm ready to clown.
Hey, well, I will say this: I cheer for the Orlando Magic every day and twice on Sunday. So, as you know, I had to take the second team, and so I like to root for the players. You know, I'm an NBA fan, so I root for the players. So whoever my favorite
You
players
came on the show and literally said you was a Miami Heat fan and you from Florida. We would have never knew. But see,
I know Ernest. So if I'd have said the Heat, he never would have let me live it down. You know, he was like, "Oh, you switching teams," because he's a Knicks fan. He's a Knicks fan, so we've been talking noise to each other for a while. We both in that garbage can. We both
in the garbage.
Yeah, and you just got out being a Lakers fan, so don't try to talk too high.
Listen, the Christmas Day schedule: Raptors versus Celtics, early game. Then Sixers at the Bucks.
Yes.
Nuggets at the Pelicans. Still waiting for Zion to play. That man.
Yeah.
Out the year.
I don't know what's going on. Got to lose some weight.
Lakers at the Clippers and Warriors at the Rockets. And
is that gonna be on prime time? Warriors at the Rockets? Because I ain't watching.
As soon as I looked at this, I was immediately disappointed. I was trying to figure out why the NBA, a billion-dollar institution, could not figure out how to get better teams on Christmas Day than Warriors.
Man, look, all I'm saying is this. I'm looking out for, as you already know, LA versus the Clippers. You already know what I want to see. I got to see a rematch again. I have in this game, making an early pick, Loyals. Just so y'all listen, I'm picking the Clippers.
Okay. Of course you're going to pick. Let's look up LeBron, man. All right, TJ, you said you got a couple of teams. Who you like outside of Orlando?
So, Orlando is the number one team. It's just because I'm from Orlando. But outside of that, man, I'm a huge KD fan. So, I'm, riding with Brooklyn this year when he comes back. But right now, I'm really riding with the Lakers real heavy, man. King James, man, he's been with his wife, high school sweetheart. He's been with her for a long time. Really stand-up guy's been doing great things in the community. So right now, I'm riding with King James. Now, on Christmas, I do believe that the Lakers are going to get that W. That just is what it is. Because we don't know if Kawhi going to play, with the whole load management thing that the Clippers like to do. But with that being said, so on Christmas Day, I think the Lakers might take it. But I don't think they're going to take it when it comes to playoff time.
Agreed. Best thing you said all night. Ron, it's back to you. I ain't got nothing to say.
Okay. I just know our Lords will appreciate if we highlight last night games real quickly before we move on to Snow That Fact number 2. But we knew this was going to be a little bit because we talking hoops. All right, so let's just you clowning. I guess you forgot that the Patriots lost this past weekend.
Oh yeah,
no, we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't. We beat
that was the previous weekend.
Exactly. We don't care about that. See, your
y'all beat. Listen.
Hey, I'm all up for the Patriots slander. Keep it coming.
Listen.
Hey,
Lakers lost to the Bucks last night. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he put a crown around his head.
He did.
I'm gonna flame him real quick and give it to y'all because I watched the FIBA World Cup basketball tournament. And guess who got benched by their coach in the FIBA? Giannis. Couldn't show up. Last year in the conference finals, it was Kawhi, the Greek Freak. Guess who got shut down, shot under 40% in the Eastern Conference? Giannis. And he had the nerve in the post-game interview to say, I won MVP last year. There ain't really much else to do. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Hey, look, all I'm saying is
themselves right now. Go ahead.
Bro, all I'm saying is I picked the Bucks because of one reason and one reason only. LA has 2 star players in AD and LBJ. And you can throw in there if you wanted to Kyle Kuzma, but they have no depth on the bench. And as much as we would like to praise them for the regular season, which, I mean, hey, they're 22-4. I mean, hey, what can you do at 24-5? But when you have no depth on your bench, when it gets playoff time, you're going to need that depth on your bench to rise up. I just can't see them rising up. Plus, they start missing something that is really important. Free throws. You got to remember who's their center. Who's their center right now?
Dwight Howard.
I mean, Brick City. That's all I got to say about this. I like them, don't get me wrong. Community man, like you said, but I just don't see them just closing it out like they should. We'll see Christmas Day what they got.
I agree completely, man.
They got to make a trade. Kyle Kuzma is gone.
Right.
Like Ernest said.
Go back and get what's his name's son. What his name is? Alonzo Ball's son. Go back and get him.
Nah, they don't want him. They don't have to deal with that. That ball dude. Hey, I heard they selling the shoes for like $30 now. It went from $400 to $30.
Hey, I still don't want none. I'm good. I like my.
Still on that?
Listen, the Houston Rockets beat the Clippers that you so hype on. Beat the Lakers on Christmas Day, but I don't know why. Because James Harden, I looked up in the third quarter, had like 19 points, but Russell Westbrook, man is balling. I don't want to talk about Kawhi. I don't want to talk about Paul George. I'm just gonna give my man Russ his love. A lot of people be sleeping on him.
They be sleeping on Russ, man. I've been following Russ for a long time, man. UCLA, that dude is a monster. He's a walking triple-double. You compare that with James Harden. I'm like, if they can make that work, them boys gonna be a tough out.
I got a stat for you, TJ. Russ, 5 triple-doubles this year. Guess the Rockets record when he has a triple-double.
I'm assuming undefeated.
5-0. Get that man Russ the ball.
Give it to him, bro.
Have 40.
Y'all think they got a chance to upset somebody in the West playoffs?
No.
Bro, the Clippers just too tough, man. With Kawhi, we on load management all throughout the year. When it comes time to the playoffs, because they can play both sides, they can play defense as well. So you forget they already took Golden State to game 6 or 7 without Paul George, without Kawhi Leonard. So you add them 2 dudes in there, boy, it's a wrap.
I mean, what you think, Ron? You think they really can do? You think they make some noise in the playoffs, like in the Western Conference Finals? Noise? You think they gonna kick out LA?
Come down to one thing. James Harden is gonna have to have 2 games where he just, I'm thinking like 60, 70. He's just gonna have to make like 10. If they're hitting their shot, they don't got Eric Gordon either. He's still in point. For their 6th man, that's gonna be a big help. But if they hit their shot, they can beat anybody.
That's a good point. Good point. I'll get that.
James Harden in the playoffs the past couple of years, and we know he doesn't hit it.
Yeah, he not the same James, but I think the beard be getting in his way, man. The beard be getting in his way. He's trying to shoot and everything, man. I see that.
No, that's fact number 2. Let's keep it going. Marvel versus DC. DC released a movie, TV series that is up there with Avengers, Crisis on Infinite Earth on CW. Go check it out. So that's fact number 2. Go ahead.
So that's fact number 3. I just want to say this quickly and precisely. Wrapping gifts are overrated. Does anybody wrap gifts anymore?
Man, look here.
Don't you just feel like sometimes you want to just take what you got and just
I saw this, and I'm like, you got kids, he got kids, I got kids. What you talking about? So what you do? You just put the Christmas out?
Well, look, one, I was gonna say, I'm my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt, Jerry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
My wife takes care of the wrapping duties. If it's not a gift bag, or what's another one? Or a stocking stuffer? Don't call me. Don't call CJ. I'm the last one, boy. I can't even wrap a book, let alone wrap a gift.
So I think for me, I said it's overrated because, there's some nice people when you go downtown. You ever go downtown to the mall, some nice little kids there, like, hey, we're wrapping gifts for, some donations. That's what I like to do. Because if you look at a gift that I wrap, you think I was wrapping like a career with like, I ain't gonna put nobody out there. I'm gonna leave somebody rap career alone. All I'm saying is this. I think my rapping skills are working on somebody's rap career skills. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go nowhere further than that. It's just overrated. Gift bag, gift card, Amazon Prime. Amazon even wraps gifts for you now. You can hit up on Amazon, they wrap it for you and send it wrapped. So no more wrapping gifts. It's overrated. Done.
All right. We're gonna move to Snow That Fact number 4. And this is a good one because us out of pocket and got a top Christmas movie showdown. It's the holiday season. DJ, you be getting into the holiday mood, watching movies, chilling with the family and everything?
I do. We are very, very big on that, man. Family time, holiday time. Matter of fact, we skip Thanksgiving around here. We go from Halloween straight to Christmas. So we've been in the Christmas spirit for it's been 2 months now. I'm about ready for Christmas to be over with. We ain't even get 25th.
So I have to apologize that you got to come on to the speakeasy. My man's garbage top Christmas movie list.
Garbage. Look, speakeasy loyals, hear me out when I say this. Because, you know what I'm saying, I'm a man's man. I am a man. You know what I mean? When I pick this list, I'm picking from a man's perspective. Not a boy's perspective, not a child's perspective, not a 2-year-old's perspective, a man's perspective. Movie number 5, Elf. Everybody likes Elf. Will Ferrell, hilarious comedy, done. Movie number 4, Home Alone 2. He gets left a second time. Movie number 3, Home Alone number 1. He gets left the first time. Movie number 2, Die Hard 2. That's a Christmas movie. Everybody dies. And movie number 1, Die Hard, the original, the first one, it happened on Christmas. She changed the last name. I was with the black guy. He was driving in the car, trying to check it out. Die Hard.
Before we get to CJ, I'm going to just say my main issue with your list was, one, that 2 of the movies was the same movie, Home Alone and Die Hard. And 2, Die Hard is something that is very controversial, but I don't think it's a Christmas movie. It's just recorded during the Christmas times. And Home Alone is kind of the same way, but I know Home Alone is one of the greatest movies. Ain't no disrespect, but having Home Alone and Home Alone 2 in top 5 is very questionable. To me, and Elf, the movie ain't just that funny. That's the one.
So what's your movie list then?
I was gonna say, hey, you bashing Die Hard and Home Alone, but we got to hear this.
Oh,
what's your
man.
list?
All
You
right.
better not say It's a Wonderful Life, or I will hang this whole thing up. What you got, homie?
My list. First of all, the top Christmas movie that I ain't even gonna disrespect my girl by putting it on no list is The Preacher's Wife. Come on, black folks. The Preacher's Wife for the culture.
I like that.
Whitney. It's Whitney. I ain't gonna put it on the list. But number 1, this is my childhood favorite, and it's my number 1. The Santa Claus is just classic. My man falls off the roof, turns into Santa Claus. I love it. I watch it every year. It's something to watch with the kids. And that's why I put that number 1. It's for the kids. Number 2, this Christmas, for the culture. I mean, Chris Brown, and from Stomp the Yard. That's my top 2. Number 3, yes, The Elf. Funny as everything. Number 4, The Best Man's Holiday. Us. How you ain't had no black movies on your list? You looking
Bruh, they were all made by BET. I don't have no
Rudolph.
originals on my list.
Red-Nosed Reindeer. You gotta have The Man That Saved Christmas on your list. You can watch that at any time. And yeah, I'm not gonna have It's a Wonderful Life, Christmas Story, all those on my list because I can't watch no movie that's black and white. But Rudolph, I can always say. Listen, I'm ending the list with Charlie Brown. Finally, Home Alone, and one of my favorite movies that slept on comedy, Just Friends, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool. He did do movies before Deadpool. It's hilarious. Go watch it. Whose list was better, CJ?
Get that.
Well, I see a lot of both, man. I will say I have my top 5 list too.
Oh!
So my list kind of, I would say my list kind of went a little closer to where Ernest's list was, but for the culture though, I must say your top 5 is very strong. Real strong, Ron. But I just let you know what I got going on. All right. So I got a 1A and 1B. I know you may say, well, you can't do that, but it's my list, right? So it's my list. So my 1A and my 1B, I got Home Alone 2. Because to me, Home Alone 2 was the GOAT of the Home Alones. Home Alone 2.
That's why I laughed. Us was like, they left him again.
Yeah, again. So Home Alone 2, Christmas Vacation. You know, Chevy Chase, them boys, they're funny, man.
Okay.
I'm a huge National Lampoon Christmas Vacation. Huge fan. I can watch that any time of the year. You know, split and laughing. The Grinch. I'm a Grinch fan, man. I'm talking about the original cartoon Grinch. The Dr. Seuss, not the one that Jim Carrey did, but I need the cartoon, the original. That one was a good one to me. Hey man, I'm like Lil Wayne, man. When I was 5, my favorite movie was The Gremlins. So you know, The Gremlins to me, that movie. Hey man, I'm a huge Gremlins fan. That's a Christmas movie to me. That's one of the movies that came out at Christmas time. I know it's not a Christmas movie, but it's a Christmas movie. You understand? And then 5, I got Die Hard. I mean, you really could put any Die Hard in there, but I just put the original Die Hard in there to kind of top it off. But no, I didn't really have any. The closest thing I had for the culture was Gremlins, because my dog Wayne, you know, he shouted out. So of course I got to shout it out.
Our goal here on this speakeasy is to bless the people. And y'all just got like 20 movies. So sit down, whether you Netflix chilling, you glued up, you with your kids, whatsoever, kick back and watch some movies. And that is your Snow That Fact.
Hey.
Yeah, let's get it, fellas.
Our next segment at the speakeasy. It is the NFL showdown, and we got a lot of playoff implications, boys. Listen, first of all, before we start, there's football on Saturday, and in college football that's underpaid and abused and used. Listen,
That's right.
NFL is coming to us on Saturday.
That's right.
Are y'all excited or what?
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited. How can you not be excited? football can be every day of the week for me, man.
I haven't spent a Saturday or a Sunday with my family in a long time when it comes to football, unless we watching football together. So one more Saturday ain't gonna hurt. But then comes the thing.
They'll be all right.
I told my wife, listen, I got you in February when football's done. Valentine's Day, we good.
Exactly.
Our first game, Texans favorite by 3 at the Bucs. Texans need to win this game to get to the playoffs.
Yep.
Y'all believe in Deshaun Watson to get it done?
Yep.
On 2 Tampa Bay. Oh, this is your ground, CJ.
I'm not a Jameis fan. I'm a Gator fan. So anything Jameis, I'm not really a big fan of. He's an interception-prone kind of guy. I just don't think you cannot count against Deshaun Watson, man. This dude, I don't want to say Lamar Jackson, but this dude has the total package. If I had to put my money on one quarterback to lead me for a drive and not going to throw it away, not going to throw an interception, it would be Watson over Winston every day.
Good point.
Yeah, that's true.
What they got to do with anything right now?
That's true.
Regular season. Moving on.
Keep that slander coming.
Listen, Jameis Winston, we ain't gonna move on. My man is number 1 in passing yards. You just gonna disrespect my man from the side, CJ? He's number 1 in the NFL to pass. He got 24 interceptions, leading the league. Oh well, he got 30 touchdowns. This is the next quarterback of the New England Patriots. You gonna disrespect my man?
Man, we would never hire crab legs. We don't even sell crab legs in Boston. I ain't buying that.
Yeah, you don't think Brady leaving next year?
No, he ain't leaving next year. Brady ain't leaving until I die. Point blank period. We done.
Man, somebody need to chop Brady's legs off or something, man. This dude has been doing it for way too long.
He gonna grow him back. He got magical powers. Moving on.
Next game on Saturday, 4:00 game. The Bills at your precious Patriots. Vegas is giving the Bills 7. You think y'all gonna be able to beat the Buffalo Bills by 7 points, a whole touchdown?
Yep. It don't matter. If you barely win every game of your entire career, guess what you just did? Won every game. Yeah, we can win by 7 points. Josh Allen at the helm as quarterback, we're fine. Our defense is still elite, we're fine. We are playing. Now, I like Dermott, don't get me wrong. He is a great coach, and he has a bad defense who can stop the run. But one thing you cannot count on is in Foxborough. It's in Foxborough. We ain't talking about
CJ,
it.
how long have you been friends with us?
Man, I've been friends with this dude. What 6th, 7th grade? We started kicking it. Maybe 8th grade.
All your life you've been having to hear from this Patriots fan.
Bro, let me tell you this. I never met somebody who was a Patriots fan. First off, he was the first person. And I'm like, Ernest, you never even been to Boston, bro. I never matter. Heck, are you a Patriots fan? But he said it don't matter. I just like the Patriots. This before they start winning championships. So once they started winning, I had to eat crow. Because I mean, I ain't never met somebody who cheered for a team they ain't even been to the city before. So I can't.
In high school,
picked the right
Boston
team.
Tea Party when I was a kid. When I heard about the Boston Tea Party when I was in 6th grade, that did it for me. Boston all the way. Let's go.
CJ, you may not know, but I already spoken into existence that the Patriots is going to get the 5th seed, and Tom Brady is going to go on a miracle. I'm going with the Bills for the upset and for the storyline. I'm tired of seeing the Patriots win. Tired of seeing the Patriots in the number 1 seed. What?
Why are you tired of greatness? Y'all
Man, we sick of it, man.
Win all the time.
I want Tom Brady to get that ring, but this is Lamar Jackson's year.
It's Lamar's year.
Nope.
It's Lamar's year.
I love him, but it ain't his year.
And even if it ain't Lamar's year, I'm okay with it being Patty Mahomes' year or Deshaun Watson's year. You know why? You know what all 3 of them have in common?
They all beat the Patriots.
They can't beat the Patriots. I was talking about the top quarterbacks, but would you believe that? They beat the Patriots. Hot dog. The last game on Saturday night, my precious Rams go to San Francisco. My Rams, man. Y'all see what the Cowboys did to these boys?
Mm-hmm. Ron, this is on you. You got to talk us up. You got to help us believe in the Rams right now. It's on you.
Yeah.
You got to go to San Francisco and beat the 49ers. And then next week, and the Vikings got to lose both their games for us to make it into the playoffs. My Eagles go play the Cowboys. We broken down. We'll get to that game.
Mm-hmm.
All of my fantasy football tournaments. None of my teams make it to the playoffs.
Oh, man, you just losing all the way around. Huh? Hey, you sound like an Orlando Magic fan.
Exactly, man. I'm hurting. My heart is hurting this year with football, but hopefully I win BCS national championship game this year, and I upset LSU as our quarterback for Oklahoma. Listen, y'all think the 49ers are for real? They done lost a couple games. They lost to the Falcons last week. Y'all think my Rams can go in here and upset these boys?
Yes. The answer is yes. I believe they do. As long as that quarterback that sits behind there continues to be a game manager, the answer is yes. Their defense is elite. Their running game is elite, but their quarterback is not. Yes. I think the Rams can do it. All I need is one solid game.
I think, well, in NFL, it's on any given Sunday. But to be honest, I think San Francisco is real. So you look at last week, they lost to the Falcons. The Falcons is a struggling team, but you remember Shanahan came from the Falcons. Dan Quinn been preparing all year for this game. So he knows exactly what the tendencies are and everything like that. So not to say throw the game out because every game matters, but you kind of got to throw that one out. I do think the way the Rams have been playing lately, they've been struggling. Like they haven't looked like the Rams that we saw last year. They definitely have taken a step back. I'm thinking
about the Rams.
Yeah, with San Francisco, losing last week, man, they're gonna come back on fire, bro. I really think they're gonna stop a mud hole in the Rams. That's just my personal opinion.
Mud hole that dudes like that.
They're gonna stop a mud hole in the boys.
Preparing for this show, there's one thing I noticed. Jameis Winston, like we said, leading the league in pass yards, 30 touchdowns, 24 interceptions. What y'all think the Rams quarterback is? 17 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, not leading the league in passing yards. Would I trade? Hell yeah.
Whoa, you heard it here, Loyals. He would trade.
Oh. Jameis Winston?
He got 30 touchdowns, 24 interceptions. We got 17 touchdowns by golf to 15 interceptions. Yeah, I would go for double touchdown passing and get some points on the board and hope that Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald will be able to stop the defenses. But we ain't even giving them a chance because we can't even. We moving on. Sunday! First game, 1 o'clock. I'm going to just go through all 1 o'clock games. Jags at Atlanta. The Ravens at the Browns.
Ravens
at the Titans. Carolina at Indy. The Ravens are favored by 10 points going to visit the Browns. Do you think that Lamar Jackson is going to get his revenge and beat the Browns by 50 points as they disrupting before our eyes?
I do think that they are going to get their revenge. I think that you're going to see Lamar play the whole game. You know, we've been taking Lamar out the game in the fourth quarter. We've been putting RG3 in. Notice I'm saying we here. You know, that's just something I do. I take on, whatever the best players. I join their team.
We like to think that if you're having fun, you're doing it the right way.
So I'm on their bandwagon now. But I think they're going. Yeah, it's what back in the day when you playing video games with 21 over skunk. So we're gonna see 21 over real quick. So it's gonna be a blowout. Oh yeah.
Here's my question for you on that, and for the both of you: would it be wise to play Lamar Jackson the full game? Because Cleveland can be a dirty team. And I can see something going really wrong with a really ugly hit on that guy, really messing him up.
Hey, Myles Garrett gone, bro. The helmet swinger gone, man. Those days over with.
But you got some other players though, man. I'm just saying, I probably would play him for a half, wrap up the number 1 seed, and take that guy out. I just don't trust Cleveland. I'm just saying, mark my word. I don't trust.
That's smart. But I don't think they're gonna try to put the gas on them boys and put it to them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
The Saints are not good outside of New Orleans, and they go to play the Titans. And I know you're probably laughing at me because last episode I said the Titans were going to win last week, but Deshaun Watson has and Hopkins can't do nothing if Fuller and Hopkins is healthy. We'll see him in the playoffs, Patriots. Listen, but looking for the Titans to upset the Saints. Then we got Carolina going to visit Indy. Cincinnati at Miami. This is going to be a big game between Cincy and Miami because the loser is getting my man from LSU, Burrows. Y'all want to see him? Oh, you a Miami fan? You Miami, Jacksonville, or Tampa?
I'm a Jacksonville fan, so I know that's the worst of all of them, right? Yeah. I'm a Jaguar fan. I've been a Jaguar fan for a long time.
Why you say now when we talked about y'all playing first at Atlanta? You don't want to talk about
man, bro, just keep going right past that, man. Let's just not let's talk about the Ravens and the 49ers and the Rams Let's talk about the team that's with winning records. We don't discuss losing
Pittsburgh
records.
lost to Buffalo last week, and now they're going to face the New York Jets.
That's trap game. Pittsburgh got to come play the A game. It's trap game.
We thought Pittsburgh was rolling hot. They're 5th seed in the playoffs. But they lose this game, they out, I think. Yeah, the Titans can still their spot.
Yep, that's right.
Last game, Giants versus the Washington Foreskins. We don't say that name on our broadcast because if somebody had a name named after our folks, I'll have a problem with it. So I
agree, my brother.
Our people. Our 4 o'clock game, Detroit at Denver. Then we got the Raiders at the Chargers. I don't think any of those games are playoff implications. But then the Sunday night game, the Dallas Cowboys go into Philly. I'm from Philly, if you ain't know, TJ. So we about to.
I figured that. You said Eagles fan, so I figured that.
This is my hope for the whole football season. Do you think my Eagles can upset the Cowboys?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I can't stand the Cowboys, baby. Let's go Eagles. Let's go Eagles, baby. Let's go. Hey, I got 28-14 Eagles. Let's ride.
28-14. I love it. I love the motivation. You got me ready to put that in already. All right. That is the end of our slate. The last game of the Monday night is the Cardinals at the Seahawks. Seahawks are favored by 10. Look forward to seeing Kyler Murray try to beat the Seahawks. CJ, happy to have you in here still by audio, just so our listeners know. Culture Corner is just something that we just talk about what's going on in the community, some real things that we just all need to be aware about and just kind of know. What would you say your perspective on what the Culture Corner is?
I enjoy the Culture Corner because I think, like you said, we're able to, as Black men, African-American men, kind of vibe on the issues that's going on. And I know we can't fix everything, but I think Culture Corner helps us and our listeners and viewers be aware of what's going on, how we can better ourselves as people. So I'm down for anything in the Culture Corner. I learned a lot from it. You learned a lot from it. We're able just to talk through these issues and work them out as a community.
Holiday pictures are coming out. And about a week or so ago, a basketball player that I'm pretty sure all of us in some form or another, not idealized, but he's a GOAT. Dwayne Wade posted a picture of his family, and we all saw, and social media went crazy, we saw his son wearing a tank top shirt, I forget what they call it, nails, and just looking very feminine. And immediately set the world into 2 different sides. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to just pass it over to you, Ash.
So my perspective and take on it is simple, and I'm going to be real brief. What people do in their household is their business and their prerogative. You raise your house as you raise your house. But I've said this before and I'll say it again. We have queens in this world that we're already trying to take care of as African-American men. Men trying to raise their daughters, women trying to raise their daughters. We have enough queens. The last thing I want to see is a king trying to raise a king to be a queen. It makes absolutely no sense because I look at the incarceration rate, I look at the death rate, we're losing Black men left and right. And the last thing I want to do is lose another Black man to not death, to not prison, to not the system, but to a parent that's choosing to raise him as a woman when he should be raised as a prince and a king. He cannot be a prince and a king dressed as a queen. I need princes, I need kings. They're the leaders of our next world. They need to stand up and be men. And they cannot be men if you're going to idolize them and let them be a woman. It's wrong, not right, and we need male leaders. And I mean what I say. So Dwayne Wade, you can do what you want, say what you want, how you want, but I'm telling you, you need to change that. That's the reality of the situation. Raise your king. Black men are under attack, not only in America, all around the world.
All around the world.
I was watching an interview on a podcast show called All the Smoke. What's my man's name? I just forgot his name. But he had D Wade on. And
was it Matt Barnes?
Yeah, Matt Barnes
That's the
Barnes
one.
show,
Yeah.
all the
And
smoke. Yeah,
Stephon
Dwayne Wade
Jackson.
on.
Yeah.
Yep. And they were talking to him, and Dwayne Wade, the one thing that he said was, at a young age, 2, 3, 4, something, he saw the different ways that his son was acting. He said it was very different compared to how his older son was acting, and he expressed that he didn't really know how to handle the situation, and ultimately he ended up deciding just to love his son for how he is and who he is. And I kind of felt compassion. I could understand why he felt that way and why he acted that way, especially in the world and society that we live in. But everything you said was absolutely true from fact about black men in society. CJ, Culture Corner, man, how you feel?
Man, it's kind of hard to follow both of you all because I feel, the same way. I feel strongly about it.
Yeah.
With D Wade, I will say this, with D Wade, he does have the right to raise his children the way he wants to. I cannot, speak for his household and what he has going on. But with that being said, I mean, just to let your son kind of dictate, that already, it was discouraging to me because it's like, I can remember a couple years ago when my son came to me, he told me he wanted to grow up and be a shark. And I didn't embrace that and say, okay, man, well, I'm going to help you be the best shark you can be. I kind of just told him as a young kid, like, hey, we laughed it off. Like, no, you're going to grow up and be a grown man. You're going to do grown man things. So, now a couple years go by, my son doesn't even remember him asking to be a shark. So just because your kids, come to you and say they feel this type of way, yeah, you still love your kid. But as a parent, you coach them and you teach them the correct way and the correct behaviors to kind of, to kind of live your life by. So not that, like I say, I can't speak on what Dwayne Wade got going on or what has happened to his son behind closed doors that we don't know. Because sometimes tragic things happen that we don't know about. But like I got a 13-year-old daughter. I'm not comfortable with her wearing makeup and nails, let alone let my son do it. So heck no.
Absolutely.
And as we move on, I love all three of our angles because all three of them was different. And I can see just like a storyline that you can put together. Listen, the Speakeasy loyal listeners, for situations like this, whatever it comes on, like how I expressed, my man's child came to him and was acting out of ordinary behaviors for a young male. And like TJ said, his child came and said, I want to be a shark. Is that what you're supposed to embrace? And ultimately, what Ush said at the end is you raise your child, your children. And it's a responsibility that you have to take. And Dwayne Wade did it his way, but clearly at the Speakeasy, we're trying to let you know what's going on in the community, what you need to open your eyes to, and look at the what's the word that I'm looking for? The magnification of Black African American men in society.
Absolutely.
Woo! Go ahead. You look like you got something.
No, we got.
Okay, let's speed it up. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street.
Back in the roaring 20s, African Americans were advancing in the culture and in the community, benefiting from the roaring 20s. And we had something in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where African Americans had joined together and banded together, pooling their money together from baseball teams to factories to employees on their own thing. And what happened back in, I would say May the 31st to June the 1st, the Tulsa Massacre. And they covered that up because over 300 Black people died and over 90 more were wounded and injured of the people coming in, infiltrating our system and killing all of us off, most of us off, and taking away what we had invested into our own culture, and thus stifling the growth that we began to have in that Tulsa community and beyond. So my point is to bring that up, even though it's not in the history books for some reason, and it's not recorded in the books we read every day, you and I, in U.S. history, because if you want to talk U.S. history, that is U.S. history, because more of us lost our lives than almost as much lost their lives years prior in slavery. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. And we were on the come up, and we have not recovered since then. So my point is to speak to us regarding the African American advancement. That's something that we had, and that's something that we can get back to. But we must program our minds to invest in items that are not depreciated, such as rims, such as stereo systems, such as things that will die off in the next 2 to 3 years. Nike shoes, they're nice, but they cannot be our investment. We need to leave a legacy for our children, leave money for our children, 401ks, investments, stock market. Get better, get your mind right, Google it if you don't know, and step your game up so you can leave a legacy for your kids. We should not be doing GoFundMe's when people die. We should not be doing all these kind of raising money when people in our family die. We should have the money to pay for it. They did in the 20s. We can do the same thing. Use your mind, use your knowledge, use your power, and stand up for what's right. It's time for us to grow together and not grow apart.
As I was taught, eat that, regurgitate it, eat it, regurgitate it, and eat it again, man. It's wisdom. And listen, we're going to go on to our last topic of the Culture Corner. And we all saw what happened yesterday that shocked the United States of America. The POTIS was impeached. And I would just like to say that we don't even really say that name around here, but I just want to note that slavery started in 1625, ended in 1865, 265 years. We were segregated for 100 years after. And then we've been free for 50 years or so, if you want to call it that. And having the leader of the country just come on and not show any attention or embrace that at all as an issue is already the wrong start as a president of the United States. And then on top of that, to have no respect for women, secluding the race, racial tendencies, bigoted with your statements, and mocking disabled people, and all the crazy things that our president has done, out of control. Okay, yes. But, however, when you plead guilty to working with other nations that the American is not, with, is clearly unacceptable, and he did it to win the election. Yeah, cool, but what do you think he's going to do on the next election? How can you trust this man at all? On top of the many of the issues that you can, we don't need to get into the issues because they're all clear as day. And if you want to be a supporter of that type of behavior, so be it. But with the biggest thing that I've noticed is people saying that you should not embrace the fact that our president was impeached, which I just want to let y'all know as we end the show, we've had 2 other presidents impeached. Guess what? Both of them got kicked up out of office. So for people saying it's still a case that he still might be kept in office, we'll see. But if the I forget the politician's name that was doing the meeting, but if you watch her interview before she went on, she pretty much was like, let's impeach this MFer and get him out of here. So if she feels that way, we should absolutely feel the same way and celebrate that they got that MFer up out of there. Am I right or am I wrong? CJ, right?
Man, hey, you are correct, man. So I did laugh from a good place. I felt really good all day yesterday as that news was going on because it was hurting his heart. You can tell it really hurt him to be impeached. So even if he don't get kicked out of office, it still was like a punch to his ego, which I think is good because this dude is ego driven. But what's crazy, I want to share with y'all. It was a tweet. I'm gonna have to give this Roy Wood Jr. He tweeted out. It was a female act. This whole impeachment stuff is confusing to me. So he really broke it down. I kind of wanted to share this because I thought it was really funny. So what he said is, in this instance, impeachment is, impeachment is to you and your homegirls having evidence that your man cheated. But to break up with him, you got to convince the jury of his frat brothers who was there with him that your man is a cheater. So with that being said, we still got some ways to go to be, we still got to we got to go through Trump supporters to be able to get Trump out of there. But it's a start. It's a start. I was definitely excited to hear about that because that dude does not care one bit about us or our people. And he knows he don't have to get where he was. He remember before he got office, what did he say? What do you have to lose? He was like, I don't even care about you. What do you have to lose? You might as well vote for me. So this dude showed his colors from a while back, being a slumlord or whatnot, that he cares nothing about the African American person. So, we shouldn't be surprised. And, if you're African American and you ain't doing nothing but cheering for this dude to be out of office, you got to really, look at yourself in the mirror and hand over your black card.
That's right.
We may have not gotten a touchdown, but there is not one football fan around the world that does not celebrate the first down. And we will end the show right there. This is Speakeasy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, CJ, our special guest. It was a pleasure and an honor to have you, brother. You are
absolutely
here on our show.
I had a good time.
Do it for y'all.
Absolutely.
All right, brother.
Man, I had a good time. I had a blast. I hope to be back on again. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. I'm a loyal listener, and I'm definitely like and subscribe. And whatever I can do to help you all out, let me know.